Have you ever wondered how much of the modern world is built on knowledge that was discovered thousands of years ago? Imagine a time when the rest of the world was still struggling with basic survival, and in the Indian subcontinent, people were inventing concepts and technologies so advanced that even today, scientists are still in awe. From mathematics that shapes the universe to medical practices that saved countless lives, India's ancient inventions have often been forgotten, overlooked, or credited elsewhere. But the truth is, without these breakthroughs, the world as we know it might not exist. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture an ancient land, rich rivers flowing through fertile plains, bustling trade centers, towering temples carved with precision, and scholars sitting beneath oil lamps, writing down ideas that would echo through eternity. This is not a scene from myth. This is the story of ancient India. Let's begin with something so simple, yet so revolutionary, that without it, modern science and technology could never have advanced the number zero. Long before the Western world had even imagined the concept, Indian mathematician Aryabhata and later Brahmagupta were writing about it. Zero wasn't just a placeholder. It was a symbol that allowed infinite possibilities. It opened the doors to algebra, calculus, computers, and space exploration. Think about it. Every time you send a message across your phone or calculate on a computer, you are using the gift of zero, born in India centuries ago. But mathematics didn't stop there. The decimal system, trigonometry, and even the concept of pi were all deeply explored in ancient India. Aryabhata calculated the value of pi with astonishing accuracy. Bhaskara, I worked on early forms of calculus long before Newton and Leibniz. These weren't just numbers on a page, they were ideas that shaped astronomy, architecture, and navigation. Now pause for a moment. Imagine the world without zero, without decimals, without algebra. Could humanity ever have reached the moon? Could we have built the internet, skyscrapers, or airplanes? And speaking of the skies, ancient Indians looked up at the stars with remarkable curiosity. Centuries before telescopes were invented, Indian astronomers had already calculated the Earth's rotation on its axis and even estimated the distance between the Earth and the moon. Aryabhata, in the 5th century, boldly declared that the Earth spins on its axis, a concept that Europe wouldn't fully accept until 1,000 years later. Isn't it fascinating how knowledge can exist far ahead of its time, waiting for the world to catch up? But the brilliance of India's forgotten inventions wasn't limited to mathematics and astronomy. Let's move into medicine. Ayurveda, the science of life, was not just about herbs and healing. It was a comprehensive system of diagnosis, surgery, and treatment. Sushruta, often called the father of surgery, wrote the Sushruta Samhita around 600 BCE, detailing over 300 surgical procedures and 120 surgical instruments. He described methods for plastic surgery, cataract removal, and even complex procedures like bone setting. Imagine while much of the ancient world relied on trial and error, India had medical texts that guided doctors with precision. One of the most astonishing accounts is Sushruta's description of rhinoplasty reconstructing the human nose. This surgery, which became famous in Europe only in the 18th century, was practiced in India more than 2,000 years earlier. Today, modern plastic surgery owes a silent debt to those ancient surgeons. And yet, it wasn't just about cutting and stitching. Ayurveda emphasized balance, the harmony of body, mind, and spirit. Concepts like yoga, meditation, and dietary science all connected to this broader understanding of health. Think about it. Isn't it extraordinary that what the modern wellness industry is promoting today, mindfulness, plant-based diets, natural healing, was already being practiced in India thousands of years ago? But medicine and mathematics were only part of the picture. India's inventors also transformed daily life with practical technologies. Take steel, for example. The legendary wootz steel from India was so pure, strong, and flexible that it became the foundation for Damascus blades, prized by warriors around the world. Even today, metallurgists are still studying its unique properties. Or consider cotton. India was the first to cultivate and weave cotton, creating fabrics so fine that Greek historians marveled at them, and traders carried them across continents. The word calico itself traces back to Calicut in India. And then there's the ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley civilization. Around 2500 BCE, when much of the world had barely discovered farming, this city had a sophisticated drainage system, neatly planned streets, and even public baths. Archaeologists were stunned to find that houses had private wells and toilets connected to covered sewers. Think about that. While Rome is often celebrated for its aqueducts and plumbing, India had already built such systems nearly 2,000 years earlier. Even in the realm of language, India gifted the world something profound. Sanskrit, one of the oldest languages known to mankind, isn't just a cultural treasure. It's also a linguistic marvel. Its structure is so precise and mathematical that NASA scientists have studied it for potential use in artificial intelligence and computer programming. A language spoken thousands of years ago could one day shape the machines of tomorrow. Doesn't that give you goosebumps? And let's not forget chess. Yes, the game of kings. Originally called chaturanga, it was played in India as early as the 6th century. From there, it spread to Persia, then Europe, and finally the entire world. The strategies, the symbolism, the idea of thinking several steps ahead, it all began in India. Every time you see a chessboard, you are witnessing the continuation of a 1500-year-old Indian invention. But here's the question, why don't we hear about these achievements more often? Why do textbooks often skip over these contributions, focusing instead on the Greeks, the Romans, or the Renaissance? Perhaps history was rewritten by those who conquered, or perhaps ancient knowledge was lost in time, hidden in manuscripts that never survived. Whatever the reason, the truth remains. India was a cradle of innovation, shaping the very foundations of human progress. Imagine a torch being lit in the ancient world, a flame of knowledge passed from one civilization to another. India's torch illuminated mathematics, medicine, astronomy, language, and art. And even if history forgot to give credit, the evidence is undeniable. As we close this journey into the past, let's reflect. Every time you write a number, every time you wear cotton clothes, every time you hear the word zero, you are connected to a story thousands of years old. Ancient India's forgotten inventions are not just relics of the past, they are threads woven into the fabric of our modern lives. So the next time you look at the stars, or pick up your phone, or play a game of chess, remember this: the wisdom of the ancients still flows through us, quietly shaping the future. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more.